So hello everyone, this is Ahmad Hassan, and today inshallah we're gonna start our Englizi Cafe. Let's have this class like an intro for the course, and so that you can know more about what we're gonna do in this course or in this class. We call it Englizi Cafe. So this will be the beginning. Today is the first day of the second month of the year of February. So we're gonna start our class today, and we shall know more about English today. So what can we tackle in our Englizi Cafe? We're gonna have some kind of idioms and daily life expressions. We're gonna have some tongue twisters to improve our speaking skills. We have English riddles. We have also listening and speaking tasks. Listening and speaking tasks. Okay, so you have the link of the class in the description if you just wanna join us here in the class. Okay, so I'm going to start first with the first section, which is English riddles. In the English riddles, what you need here is to think about the answers of these questions. The answers of these questions. Okay, so here it's like what we have in Arabic, like al-ghaz. Okay, so you are going to think about this one, and you are going to tell me the answer of this one. So I am tall when I am young, and I am short when I am old. So what am I? So I have something which is tall when it's young, and I have it short when it's growing old. So what can be this one? What can be this one? So I'm going to wait for your answers here. So we have something which is tall when it's young, and we have it. I am old. So what am I? So I have something which is. So we have here something, as we said, which is tall when it's young, and it can be short when it's old. We can share the answers together. So what can be the answer of the first one? I am tall when I am young. I'm short when I'm old. What am I? Okay, the pen, maybe. We can change it a little bit. Okay, the pen. Okay, let's make it in a very nice way. Okay, I'm going to give you a hint about this one. Okay, it can be the pencil. Yes, we have another answer. Let's start here with the letter C. If you can guess this one. So it can start with the letter C. It's tall when it's young, and it's short when it's getting old or when it's used for a long time. It can be tall when it's young, and it can be short when it's old. Okay, it starts with the letter C. Okay, if you can guess the answer of this one. Let's add one more letter. A. So I have here the letter A. So what can start here with the letter C, and then I have the letter A? What do we call this one? We use it a lot in our houses in the past and now. Okay. Yes, the candle. Perfect answer. Yes. Mrs. or Mr. Rida al-Hamshari. Yes, the candle. That's the perfect answer. So that's the answer of the first English riddle that we have it here. Let's move to the second one. Okay, what month of the year has 28 days? What month of the year has 28 days? What month of the year has 28 days? So who know the answer of this one? What month of the year has 28 days? What month of the year has 28 days? Okay, February. Which February? I think you need to think about it. A month of the year that has 28 days. Think again. It's a month of the year, and this one has 28 days. Miss Safa, Mr. Rida, or Mrs. Rida? I don't know. Is it Mr. or Miss Rida? Because I cannot see the picture. And Miss Ola, I think you need to think about it again. It's a month of the year that has 28 days. Month of the year that has 28 days. You can think about this one. Mr. Okay, Mr. Reda. Yes. Okay, so if you think about it, okay, what month of the year had 28 days? There is a trick here in the question that if you get it, you can answer the question in a perfect way. Okay, it's a month of the year, and this one has 28 days. Okay, did he say here a month, or he said what month? He said what month of the year has 28 days. You can guess here, or you can notice here that all the months of the year, they already have 28 days. Okay, the shortest one, as we know, is February, the second one. So all the months of the year, they have the number 28. So if you go to the first month, you will find 28, 29, 30. The second one, you have 28, and every 4 years we have 29 days. Okay, the third month, it has 28, 29, 20, 30, and so on. Okay, so so we have here a participant, Anas. Hello, Anas. Okay. Mr. Anas. Mr. Anas. Can you hear me? Yes, perfect answer by Mr. Rida. He said here all the months of the year. All the months of the year. If you want to join us here in the class, you can find in the description of the video, you can find the link where you can use it and you can join the class with us here. So Mr. Rida, he said here all the months, and that's perfect because all the months of the year, they have already 28 days, including the second month of the year, which is the shortest one, and it already has 28 days. It already has 28 days, okay? So Mr. Rida here got the right answer for this one, okay? Okay, so that was for the English riddles. Let's move to the next one. Let's move to the next one. Okay, in this part, we have something called English tongue twisters. English tongue twisters. In the English tongue twisters, we use them, as you see here in the picture, to practice your tongue to say the word in the right way, in the right way, okay? So you have to get these words, you have to say them in the right way, and that will make your English pronunciation much better than before, okay? In each of the English tongue twisters, you notice that they can focus on one of these sounds. You can notice that they focus on one of these sounds. Okay, for example, he said here, Sally. He said here, Sally sold seashells by the seashore. He said here, Sally sold seashells by the seashore. So here he need to focus on the pronunciation of these sounds so that when you say them, you will find that they are so nice and you can say them in an easy way. You can say them in an easy way. To make the English tongue twisters in a perfect way, you have to focus at the beginning at these sounds, and then you begin to move faster and faster while you are saying them. So you say, Sally sold seashells by the seashore. Sally sold seashells by the seashore. Sally sold seashells by the seashore. Okay, so now we got also Miss Iman Abdurrahman. If you want to join us and you can say this one, that would be perfect of you.
Sally sold seashells by the seashore.
Perfect one. Okay, can we make it faster?
Sally sold seashells by the seashore.
Perfect one. Okay, so we focus here on the sound, okay, which is sound. Okay, so when you say it, and you can notice Sally sold seashells by the seashore. And the English tongue twisters, we focus on lots of sounds. Okay, so when you focus on these sounds, they will make your English pronunciation much better than before. We have here also Mr. Anas Ahmad, if you can say this one, of, or you can say this tongue twister with us. Mr. Anas Ahmad. Okay. So let's move to the second tongue twister that we have it today. As we said today, we are just having like a warm up for our classes of Englizi Cafe. Okay, the next one here, somehow it's a bit hard for some people, which is how much would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? How much would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Okay, it seems hard at the beginning, but when you begin to say it slowly, step by step, you can master this one. How much would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? How much would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? So you began to say this one, okay, step by step, slowly, and then you begin to make it faster and faster, so that you find that your tongue began to get the some kind of what we call it accent. So you began to improve your accent in this way. You began to improve your accent in this way. So you say, how much would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? How much would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? And then you began to make it automatically in this way. You began to make it automatically in this way. So Miss Iman, you can share it with us here. You can just unmute your mic.
Sorry.
How much would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
Nice one. So can you say it again?
How much would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
Perfect one. Perfect. You made it in a nice. Mr. Muhammad Ibrahim, welcome back.
Yes.
Long time no see. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Ahmed. Yes, Mr. Ahmed.
Okay. So, Mr. Muhammad, here we are practicing.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, we are practicing here this.
You can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes. We are practicing here this kind of tongue twisters just to practice how to master our pronunciation and to make it in a very nice way. So I said this one here, and also Miss Iman, she said this one. So if you can share it with us, we are talking here about how much would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck would chuck wood. So can you say this one?
Is a sound. Is a check food.
Okay. Can you say it again? Can you say it again? Because
Hello.
yes, I hear you. Can you say it again?
Say that again?
Yes.
Yeah. How much would this would chuck if I would chuck could chuck wood?
That's nice. Can you make it faster? How much would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck would chuck wood? Can you make it faster?
How much would it? Yes, how much would the chuck if I would chuck could chuck wood?
Okay. So this is one of the best ways that we practice with our students, and it helps to make their pronunciation much better because when they say it and they have somehow kind of self-confidence, they can practice and they can get the accent in a very simple way when they trust themselves that they can get some sounds together and so on. Okay. And of course, Mr. Muhammad is one of the best teachers to talk about this one. Okay. If we move to the next part here, we have something that we use it nowadays a lot. It's called idioms. Okay. If we talk about idioms, we are talking about a way of talking about the same expressions or the same words that we know it. But let's say we'll try to have it in a new way, or we try to get some words together. And when we get these words together, they can give us here a different meaning. For example, you can guess these words from the picture that you have it here. You can guess this one from the picture that you have it here. For example, if you have a picture like this one, you can say here that you have a kind of raining, and this kind of rain here, you don't have the normal drops of water, no, you have here cats and dogs falling down. Cats and dogs falling down. So when you talk about this kind of idiom and you teach it to the students or to someone, so you're gonna say here, okay, what can you notice? I can see here that we have dogs and cats falling down. I can see dogs and cats falling down. So what's the relationship between the dogs and cats when they are falling down? Can we have dogs and cats actually falling down? No. Okay, but here he wants to say that it's raining heavily. It's raining in a heavy way. It's raining in a heavy way. So here he made it. It's raining cats and dogs. It's raining cats and dogs. As you can see here, so you have lots of rain. You can say it's raining cats and dogs. So when you have lots of rain in a place, when you have heavy rain in a place, you can say simply, it's raining cats and dogs. Oh my God, it's raining cats and dogs, to show that you have here a kind of heavy rain. Heavy rain. Okay. Another way here, or another one here that we have it, we have a girl and she's holding something here. What is she holding? She's holding some horses. So when you have the idiom, hold your horses, hold your horses. What does it mean, hold your horses? When I say for someone, hold your horses, okay? Meaning here, when I say hold your horses,
All your horses.
hold your horses. Hold your horses.
Hold your horse.
It's like calm down, Mr. Muhammad. It's like calm down or be patient. Like calm down or be patient. So when you say it for someone, be calm or calm down, you say hold your horses. Hold your horses. So when you say for someone in front of you, like control yourself, hold your horses, calm down, be patient. At this time, we say that this idiom is hold your horses. So I can get the idiom here from this kind of picture. I can get the idiom here from this kind of picture. So we say here, it's raining cats and dogs like heavy rain. Or when I speak of someone, hold your horses, it's like calm down or be patient. Like calm down or be patient. Okay. What is more important than knowing about the idiom is how to use it, how to use it, how to use it. Okay.
Yeah.
So if I have here lots of rain, I'm not going to say look at the heavy rain. No, I can use here the new expression. There is some kind of noise next to you. Can you please try to lower it down? Okay, so when we say for someone, hold your horses or try to control yourself, try to calm down. So if I see someone angry and he's talking to me, I'm not going to say for him, calm down. I'm going to use the new expression, hold your horses, please. Hold your horses. Okay, so in this way, I'm using the idiom that I'm learning. I'm using the new expression that I'm learning here. And that's why we have this kind of idioms. Okay, so we say, hold your horses, or I say, it's raining cats and dogs. Okay, we have here two other idioms. Okay, from the picture that you have it here, you can guess this idiom. You can guess this idiom. Okay, so can anyone guess this idiom? When you have someone holding here this part, what can be this idiom? Miss Iman?
Piece of cake.
Okay.
It's a piece of cake.
Yes. So what does it mean when you say for someone it's a piece of cake?
It's a piece of cake, like it's easy.
It's easy, yes. So if
It's
you have
easy situation.
easy situation, yes. So let's say that Muhammad has an exam now, and when he starts answering the exam, he finds that he can answer all the questions. He can answer all the questions. At this time, he can say, this exam is a piece of cake for me. Okay, I cannot believe it. Okay, so this is a piece of cake. It means that it's something very easy for me, or I can do it in a very easy way. Do we have other things that can equal this one? Yes, we have lots of them. We have lots of them. But what I focus on here, that you got one of these idioms or one of these expressions and use it in the right way. And that's what I'm caring about. Okay, in our Englizi Cafe, that's what I'm caring about. That you began to use these things in the right way. Okay, so you have here, it's a piece of cake, like it's easy. So whenever you have an easy situation and someone is asking you, what do you think of the English exam? You can say, it's a piece of cake. Can you do this one? Can you do this task? Ah, yes, it's a piece of cake for me. That's what we need to do here.
Yeah.
Yes. The next one here, we have a picture of someone, and this one, as you see, he's laughing. The one who's sitting at the back, he's laughing. And the one in the front, you can see that he's not happy with the situation. He feels that there's something wrong. Okay. So if you have someone like that laughing at you, and you are the one who's in this situation, and maybe this one, he cannot do the same thing like you. For example, you are driving a car and you have someone from the back, hey, in this way. No, turn in this way. You cannot drive in a good way. And they can make you feel tense at any time. So if you have someone in your life and he's talking a lot and he's asking you to do things or maybe making fun of you when you are doing anything in your life, and he himself or she, they cannot do it. They cannot do it. So we have a name for those people. We call them this one a backseat driver. A backseat driver. When we say a backseat driver, we are talking here about someone who's always criticizing me, talking to me about my mistakes and what I'm doing all the time in the wrong way. And this person himself, he cannot do it, but he keeps criticizing or talking to me all the time about my mistakes. Okay, like Mr. Muhammad is an English teacher, and maybe he had someone before asking him to put an exam or to have anything or to edit any kind of things in the exam. And this person himself, he cannot deal with the computer and he cannot do anything with the exams. He's just trying to control the others and he himself cannot do anything like that. At this time, I call him what? A backseat driver. A backseat driver. Do we have backseat drivers in our life? Yes, we have lots of them. We have lots of them. Okay, and they really enjoy making fun of the others. They just make fun of the others. Okay, and that's why we call them what? Backseat drivers. A backseat driver, someone who's always criticizing, giving me negative points, and always maybe making fun of the others in front of him. And that's why we call him a backseat driver. A backseat driver. Okay, so now let's check this one. I'm going to say the question and you can give me the right idiom at this one. We got now 4 idioms: a piece of cake, a backseat driver, hold your horses, and also we got it's raining cats and dogs. Okay, so I'm going to say the question and you can answer it whether by Miss Iman or Mr. Muhammad or even in the comments if we have it on the video. Okay. So if I say here something which is very easy, not hard, something which is very easy, or we can say not hard, what can be this one?
A piece of cake.
It's a piece of cake. Nice one. If I said it's like heavy rain, it's raining all the time and it's never stopping, what can we say about this one?
It's raining cats and dogs.
It's raining cats and dogs. If I say that this thing is very easy, okay, this thing is very easy, we can say, as Miss Iman here, Iman Aimer said, it's a piece of cake. As Miss Iman Aimer said, it's a piece of cake. If I talk here about someone who is making fun of me all the time, giving me negative points, and he himself cannot do anything about it, what do we call this person? Someone who's making fun of me, giving me negative points all the time, and not caring about what I'm doing here.
A backseat driver.
A backseat driver. Yes, a backseat driver. Yes. The last one, when I say for someone, just wait, wait, wait. When I say for someone, wait in this way, what do we call it? What do we call it when I say for someone, wait? Hold your horses. Nice one, Miss Iman Aimer. So Mr. Reda also perfect. We say here, hold your horses, like wait, like wait. Okay, let's move to the next part. Okay, we have here a listening task. A listening task. Before we move into the listening task, we can see a picture here. And in this picture, you can guess what we gonna talk about in the listening task. So I need you to write for me a word or to say for me a word describing this picture for you. So or this picture, what do you think we're going to talk about in the listening task? What do you think we're going to talk about in the listening task? We talk here about someone who's a
surprised,
someone who's
surprised,
surprised. Okay, maybe he's surprised. Maybe he's horrified. Yeah, someone afraid. Yes, Mr. Rida El-Hamshari, he said someone who's horrified, very scared. Miss Iman Amir, she said someone who's afraid. Okay. It's okay, Mr. Muhammad. Or surprised. Yes, Miss Safa, she says someone afraid or someone shocked. Yes, maybe. Okay, so here I have different things. I don't know whether this person is afraid, this person is surprised. Okay, but it's somehow related to the listening task that we have it here, and also to the things that we maybe talk about in this topic. Okay, so let's listen to this one first.
listenaminute.com. Fear.
Okay, if you hear the sound, you can give me a thumb up, or you can write that the sound is clear of the listening. If you can hear the listening, the part that I played, I'll play it again, and you can write for me if you can hear it or not.
listenaminute.com. Fear. What are you afraid of? I'm not really afraid of anything.
So did you hear what did he say here? If you hear this part, you can just give me any sign that you hear this part. Miss Iman, did you hear it?
yes, but
Yes.
please play it again.
Okay, so let's hear it again.
Yes,
listenaminute.com. Fear. What are you afraid of? I'm not really afraid of anything. When I was a child, I was afraid of the dark. I used to hear strange noises at night when I was in bed. I couldn't move. I was frozen with fear until it got light outside. I'm no longer afraid of the dark, thankfully. I also used to fear speaking in public. My face would go red and I'd get very hot. I overcame this fear because I had to make many speeches at school. The more I did this, the more my public speaking fear disappeared. People are afraid of many strange things. Did you know there is a fear of peanut butter sticking to the roof of your mouth? There is even a medical name for it. I don't think fear is a bad thing. It probably stops us from doing really dangerous things.
Okay, so we know now that this man is not surprised. Now, this man here is afraid of something. Okay, this man is afraid of something. Okay, we have a word that can describe someone who is so scared of something, or let's say is extremely scared of something. This word starts with okay. So if I talk about the idea itself, Mr. Rida, okay, he said here, if I talk about the idea itself, the idea of phobia, that you are so scared of something, that you are so scared of something. So we call it phobia when you are so scared of something. Okay. So if I talk here about what did we hear, we're going to listen to this one again. To activate this one, I need you in the comments to type for me the part that I'm going to play. The part that I'm going to play here for you.
listenaminute.com. Fear. What are you afraid of?
So what's the first sentence that we have it here?
wait a minute. play it again, please.
Yes, he said, what are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? So he's asking a question. It's okay, Mr.
My internet service so bad, sorry.
Okay. He said here, what are you afraid of? So what are you scared of? What are you scared of?
I'm not really afraid of anything.
The second one that we have it here.
Be afraid of dog.
No, he said here.
I'm not really afraid of anything.
So what did he say here?
I'm not scared of anything.
I'm not really afraid of anything.
Yeah.
Okay. So if we need to activate the part of speaking here in this lesson a task, okay. So let's have the same question that he asked at the beginning. So what are you afraid of? Can you tell me something that you're scared of? For me, I'm afraid of failure, the idea of failing in anything in my life, in my study, in my career, in doing anything that I like, and missing someone maybe. So I'm so scared of failure. I'm so scared of failure as Ahmed. Okay. So can you tell me here, what are you afraid of? What are you scared of? As Mr. Muhammad, as Miss Iman, as anyone who can send us in the comments. Can you tell us something that you are so scared of?
Actually, I'm scary when I see like films,
Yeah.
like scary movies like this.
Mm.
Okay, like if I
What about-
suddenly just see something like any situation, first time I see that. Okay, like scary movies,
Yes.
like dogs.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
like
all the scared, right?
alligator,
Yes.
any animals, exactly.
Mm.
Look like scary situations.
Nice one. Miss Iman Amir, she said that she's afraid of electrical things. Mr. Rida Al-Hamshari, he said that he's afraid of heights or high places. Yes, me too.
Yes, this is horrible places, exactly.
I hate the high places.
Strange,
Yes, I hate the high.
strange places.
Yes, I feel dizzy when I am on a very high place. I feel dizzy, and maybe you have some bad thoughts that you're going to fall down. Yeah, I'm so
Yeah,
scared that even looking down at this place, I feel that my head is going to fall down, and this is so scary for me. Yes.
yeah.
Miss Safa, she said she's afraid of skating roads. You mean maybe if you are moving on this way, you're going to fall down or you're going to like slide on this part? I think yes. Okay. Miss Iman Abdurrahman, what are you scared of?
I'm scared of any insect. Any insect.
Any insect. Hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
Any-
So you are scared of
Like
insects because of something that happened to you in the past, of course.
Yes.
When I was a child, I was afraid of the dark.
What did you say here?
of a dog.
No, we need the full sentence.
Scared from dogs.
We need the full sentence. Let's hear it again.
Afraid of anything. When I was a child, I was afraid of the dark.
What did he say
When
here?
I was a
When I was a
child,
child.
I scared from dogs.
Okay, we need when I was a child, I
Scared from dogs.
let's hear it again. When I was a child, I was afraid of the dark. Perfect one, Mr. Rida Hamshari. Yes, that's amazing. Yes. When I was a child, I was afraid of no, not you. I'm talking about the lesson part. He said when I was a child, I was afraid of a dog. No, he said I was afraid of the dark. Maybe as you, Miss Iman Amir, you were afraid of the dog in the past. Okay. But here he said, I was afraid of the dark, And the black color for the children, and it's somehow related to the idea, as Mr. Muhammad said, the horror movies or the scary movies. So when you hear something like that, when you see something like that, maybe you'll feel scared. So automatically, when you see the black color, the color of death, the color of darkness, you'll feel so scared at this time. You feel so scared at this time. Now he said, Missy man, Amr, it's I was afraid of the dark. I was afraid of the dark.
I used to hear strange noises at night when I was in bed. I couldn't move. I used to hear strange noises at night when I was in bed.
Can you complete this one?
Of the dark. I used to hear strange noises at night when I was in bed.
I used to hear strange noises at night when I
in the bed.
when I was
When I was a child, I was filled. Oh, I was felt scary like this.
I used to hear strange noises at night when I was in bed.
I used to hear
noises at night when I was in bed. Dark. I used to hear strange noises at night when I was in bed.
I used to hear strange noises at night when I was in bed. I used to hear strange noises at night when I was in bed. Okay, so if we try to activate also here the part of speaking, did you have the same idea? Did you hear strange noises at night when you were in bed? Did you feel like there's someone who's going to eat you or who's going to kill you when you are asleep? Did you have something like that, or that's only in the horror movies? Did you feel that there's something like that when you were a child, that there's someone who's going to kill you, someone who's going to eat you?
I think only in the horror movies.
In the horror movies?
Yeah.
No?
Yes.
Okay. In our Egyptian culture, we find something very strange, that our mothers in the past, they kept telling us stories about horrifying things like أمنا الغولة أبو رجل مسلوقة.
Yes.
We used to say that in the past. Yes. And we kept being scared, and I think till now. So when you hear this one, when you hear this idea and there is complete darkness, so you can feel that there's someone who's going to kill you, someone who's going to eat you, and that's because of what we heard in the past. I think nowadays the children, they do not have the same idea like what we had when we were children in the past. Okay, so welcome, Mr. Abdulwahab Muhammad.
Welcome, my friend.
Yeah, okay. So can you turn on your cam?
I don't like that.
You don't like that? Okay. Okay. So we are talking here about the idea of being scared, and if you were scared when you were a child, when you were in bed, did you have this kind of bad dreams or nightmares about someone who's going to eat you, someone who's making some strange noises around you at bed? Did you have the same idea in the past or not? Mr. Abdulwahab, did you have the same idea in the past?
I still join now. I don't know what we are going to talk about. Give me a chance to listen carefully and try to share your ideas.
We're talking about the idea of fear or being scared when you were young, and if you had some kind of bad dreams in the past, or you heard some strange noises around you when you were going to your bed.
I think all of us have this feel with these dreams or bad dreams.
Yeah.
If you face any troubles in your daily life,
Yes.
I think you dream with these dreams, these bad dreams.
Yes.
I think so.
You're right about this one. Okay, let's complete.
Okay.
Couldn't move. I was frozen with fear and
Let's hear it again.
strange noises at night when I was in bed. I couldn't move. I was frozen with fear.
So what did he say here?
I couldn't move.
Yes.
I was bleeding.
I couldn't
don't
move.
think
I was.
bleeding.
No. I couldn't move. It's okay. Okay.
I was
was.
bleeding.
I was. We need the adjective that he said here. Okay, let's watch the comments. So I couldn't move. I was frozen with fear. Yes, perfect.
Frozen
Perfect.
with fear.
Rida, superstar of today with Miss Iman and Mr. Muhammad Ibrahim and Miss Iman Amr. So Mr. Rida, he said, I couldn't move. I was frozen with fear. Like I feel like I cannot move any part of my body. So I was frozen with fear. Yes, I couldn't move. I was frozen with fear. Like this man here, he feel like he cannot move. He cannot do anything. Why? Because of what he saw in his dream or what he saw before going to bed. So here he said, I was frozen with fear.
Until it got light outside. I'm no longer afraid of the dark, thankfully. Till it got light outside. I couldn't move. I was frozen with fear until it got light outside.
Until
Got light outside.
got light outside. So he said, sometimes I was not able to sleep because of my fear of the darkness. And then I had to wait till I had the light of the sun so that I feel that everything is okay and then I can sleep. Okay, so here he had a phobia of the darkness, as we said here. Yes, until it got light outside.
I'm no longer afraid of the dark,
I am no longer afraid of the dark,
thankfully.
thankfully.
I also used to fear speaking in public.
I think this is the problem of most of those who cannot speak in English. Okay, that they are, see this part.
Thankfully. I also used to fear speaking in public.
I also used
To fear speaking.
Afraid of the dark, thankfully. I also used to fear speaking in public.
I also used to fear speaking in public. I cannot speak in front of a group of people in front of me. As you know, maybe you know English in a perfect way, but when you try to speak in English, you find that maybe you cannot do anything. And when you are going to talk in front of anyone, you feel like you are so scared, you are freezing with fear because you do not trust yourself and you do not trust that you can make it in a perfect way. So at this time, you feel like you make like that. Why? Because you're so scared of talking in front of people, or you are so scared of talking in public. Okay, I think it's not a big trouble. It needs some kind of practice. Like when you stand in front of your mirror at home and you begin to talk, you move your hands, you talk as if you have lots of people in front of you. I asked some of the learners before to have their family in front of them, and they began to talk to them as if they are the audience. So they listen and they are giving him the feedback about what he said. So this is one of the best ways to improve your way of speaking, to improve your English, to improve your public speaking skills. Yes. Okay.
My face would go red and I'd get very hot.
So what happens? The same with all the people who are scared of talking in public.
Thankfully,
My face is
I also used to fear speaking in public. My face would go red.
My face
Was
would
it
go red,
Red.
Red.
as Mr. Abdulwahab said. So why would his face go red? Why would he be red? What does it mean that his face is red? It means that this person is shy or maybe embarrassed. Yes, embarrassed when he's talking in front of the people. What's the main reason for being scared of talking in front of people? That you are afraid of making mistakes. Afraid of making mistakes. If you trust that the one in front of you would accept your mistakes, I think you'll not be scared of talking in public or even in front of anyone in your life. But the idea that you're so scared of your mistakes, that makes a big trouble somehow for some people. Yes.
And I'd get very hot. I overcame this fear because I had to make many speeches at school, go red, and I'd get very hot.
And I got very hot, so his face here will be so hot. Yes, as if you have fire at this place. Why? Because he is so shy at this time.
I overcame this fear because
I overcame this fear. How did he overcame something? How did he stop this thing? How did he stop this thing?
I had to make many speeches at school.
I had to make
Many speech.
many speeches at school. So when you have to make many speeches at the school, you are trained well before you go and talk in front of anyone. So at the beginning, you can start with a small group of your friends, 2 or 3 that you trust them, and then you can make them 5, you can make them 10. You can practice on a great number after that. But you have to start with a small number. Maybe you start with yourself at the beginning, that you look at yourself in the, yes, by making many speeches. Yes, you stand in front of the mirror. You can have some video recordings for yourself when you are talking in English. And I think that this one can help you a lot when you are trying to master your English, that you see yourself and you check your mistakes.
I think
Yes, I applied this one day when I was explaining something to a group of teachers, and I asked one of my friends to record a video for me. When I was watching the video, I noticed that I said the word okay more than 100 times. I said the word okay more than 100 times. At this time, I know that this is a mistake and I should replace it, or I should use different words. Why? Because here I have to improve my speaking skills. I have to improve my speeches when I'm talking to anyone in front of me.
Can I speak?
Okay.
This means practice makes perfect.
Yes, practice makes perfect.
Practice makes perfect. We need to practice more. Then we can be fluent or be perfect.
Yes, perfect one. Perfect.
the more I did this, the more my public speaking fear disappeared. People are afraid of speeches at school. The more I did this, the more my public speaking fear disappeared. People are afraid of many strange things. Did you know there is a fear of peanut butter sticking to the roof of your mouth?
Very strange things that the people are scared of, like the peanut butter that the people eat it. Some people are so scared that it will stick to the upper part of their mouth, so they cannot take it or they cannot move it down. Some people are scared of things like that.
There is even a medical name for it. I don't think fear is a bad thing. It probably stops us from doing really dangerous things.
They said here at the end, maybe it's not a bad thing because it can stop us from doing bad things, from doing bad things. Okay. So some people here are so scared of things. Some people are so scared of things, and I think that sometimes they are afraid of nothing, or they do not have the right to be afraid of this thing. Okay, and some others, it's okay for them to be scared of that because they have some kind of bad experience related to this one. Like when Missy Man, she said here, I'm so scared of insects. I'm so scared of insects. So there must be a problem that happened before with her related to insects that made her say, okay. We saw, of course, lots of ladies, they are so scared of cats. And some of them, they have phobia of cats. So if she saw any cat in the morning or at any time of the day, she will be so scared. Okay? And maybe, as Mr. Rida here, he said, she'll be horrified. Why? Because she had a bad experience related to this one. Right? I think you watched the movie in Egypt. It's called Asabta Dr. Omar or Mustafa Omar. Okay. And Yasmin Abdelaziz in this movie, she suffered from a kind of disease. They call it, I think, kleptomania, that she was addicted to stealing things. She is not in need to steal anything, but she got used to this idea that she began to steal things from the people around her. Anything, maybe a watch, a mobile phone, a wallet, a purse, anything. Okay. This idea here that he was trying to deal in this movie, that people are so scared of things that maybe if they face their fear, they can overcome this one. So we saw people who are so afraid of heights, people who are so afraid of heights, and then his treatment for them that he put them in some higher places. Some people were scared of the fires and so on. So he put them in an environment which will have lots of fire, and he was letting them practice how to deal with this one. Okay. Uh, but let's say that the idea of dealing with these things, it should come step by step. It will not be at once. It will not be at once. Okay. So, Mr. Muhammad, did you have anyone before in your life that has a kind of fear and you try to help him to overcome it?
Hello, Mr. Ahmed.
Yes.
Hello.
Did you have
First, I appreciate your effort. Exactly. I learned a lot from you.
Thank you.
It's very interesting today about the idioms, especially about the American accent and the British accent and differentiate between them. Actually, there's honest people inside Egypt trade from heron movies. Exactly, it look like a shark's movies like that. Okay, and the heron movies like so 3 and so 7, for example.
Yes.
That is for me exactly. I'm so afraid when I saw this movie like so part 7, example. Okay, uh, very important exactly to speak. Very important to earn a lot of words and learn a lot of vocabulary to help you to speak.
Yes.
Exactly, to be fluent in English and to know what about the vocabulary for each parts related about the idioms. Talk about, for example, a piece of cake. What the meaning of this idiom? Okay, like
Mhm.
a very easy situation. Exactly, like I can see the sky is very rainy. It's I like this. It's raining. It's raining cats and dogs. And you know what did that? What about this impression about this? Okay, it's very important to know that, and very important to about the instructor to know and to tell for students what difference between this is like expressions for like general and the straight. Okay, with the people, how can I say that? If I suddenly to listen this expression to know of this, exactly to talk about this like immigrations, people to go other cities or like countries outside like Arabian countries. I have to speak for foreigners. Exactly, suddenly can a foreigner talk with me and tell me what's what the meaning of this word is English. Yep.
Perfect. That's amazing.
Yes, perfect.
Amazing. Yes. Thank you, Mr. Muhammad. Okay. Miss Iman, did you help
Perfect, Mr. Ahmed. Perfect.
Did you help anyone before, Miss Iman, in your family to overcome any kind of fear?
Yes, my daughter. My daughter. I still help her to make more expression in the courses and in the school. Talk easily. I still help her.
Yes. Right. And you feel that she's accepting this kind of idea or not?
Sometimes, not all the time.
Yes. Okay.
And this is difficult because she trying, but don't make all of her work.
Yes. But at least she's trying to do her best here.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Rida, we are thankful for your participation today. It was amazing. Thanks a million for your participation. Okay. Mr. Rida, you are here. Okay, Mr. Abdul Wahab, till we have Mr. Rida. Did you help anyone before to overcome any kind of fear in his life?
Mr. Ahmed?
Yes.
Sorry, Mr. Ahmed, I'm gonna leave this meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Nice to meet you, Mr. Ahmed.
Thank
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Okay, Mr. Abdul Wahab, did you try before to help anyone in your life to overcome any kind of fear? Mr. Abdul Wahab? Mr. Abdul Wahab?
Sorry, I muted myself.
Okay.
So, I have some problems which I face at my school. I try to encourage my students to speak and use their tongue. How can they speak? How can they pronounce words? This is very, very, very important, especially in primary cycle or the youngest learners. It's very, very important to how can they help them.
To you in a good way.
I use some different kinds or activities or games to give them a chance to speak. I put them in groups, in small groups or in larger groups to help shy learners. To help shy learners to speak.
How many students do you have in your class?
About 60, 70, between 60 and 70 people in the class before Corona.
Yeah.
Now they are 35, 30, around 30, 35. I put them in groups and try to encourage them to use their tongue, to speak. To speak, it's very, very important to help them to speak. This is very, very necessary for them.
Yes.
How can they speak and use their tongue? This is very, very important.
Yes.
I put them in groups and encourage them to speak.
I think you find lots of them, they have this kind of fear, or they have this kind of phobia about talking and showing their skills and so on.
I think not only the students only, especially young or adult, the same. And they are, I think some teachers need to speak and use their tongue. This is more important for them. How can they speak? How can they pronounce the words? How can they use their language? How can use their expressions? How can to express themselves? This is very important for them. How can we deal with native speakers as long as we can? This is very important for all of us.
Yes. Okay, that's amazing, and I'd like to thank you for what you're doing, because not all the teachers, they have the spirit, or they do not like to change themselves, and consequently they will not change the students. They will be the same, and they will not change anything. Okay, I'd like
I have some ideas. I have an idea or a verb or a word means life never stop. Life never stops.
Yes, and
we need to learn. We need to learn because life never stops teaching.
Yes. Yes.
When you are die, this means that you never learn. You never learn from the life. I think so.
Perfect. Okay, Mr. Rida.
Thank you, Mr. Ahmed.
Thank you.
Thank you, others. Sorry, I must go. Thank you for all of you. Thanks. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Rida, welcome back.
Welcome to you.
Welcome back. Okay. First of all, thank you for your amazing participation today. It was overwhelming. Okay.
Thanks. You are welcome. Thank you.
Especially in the listening part. So did you have anyone before in your life that he suffered from any kind of fear, and you tried to help this one to overcome his fear, part of your family, or maybe in your classes, in your work, and so on?
Most students have something to fear of, especially insects, maybe rats, maybe cats, maybe dogs, animals like this.
Yes. Okay. So did you have any experience with someone who you tried to change his or her life, especially about something that they are so scared of?
I think that there are three ways to get over this problem. The first solution to this is to go to a therapist. That's the first one. Second one is the virtual situation, to make a student imagine something and he can fight it in a game. As we call virtual situation or virtual treatment. The third part is the slow part. You have to convince this student that it is not dangerous. This is something easy, and you should do something in front of the student to make him brave, not to be afraid. So we have three ways to overcome the phobia. This phobic person, phobic is an adjective. This phobic person don't need to be afraid of anything, because nothing will kill him. He must control it. He is the controller of the situation. You can allow him to go if he wants. So he knows that he is the controller, not you. So he will encourage himself to do it.
That's perfect.
I'm listening.
Yes. I really appreciate your words, and I hope that the people can hear these words and they can apply them. Why I'm saying that? Because I had lots of people before, not only in my classes, but let's say generally in life. Number one, they do not confess that they have a problem with anything. Okay, maybe her son or her daughter, they have a problem with maybe some speaking troubles and so on. And I ask them to go to a therapist. At the beginning, they deny that they have a problem and they shout and they say, "How come that you say that? That's my son. My son is okay. My son is perfect. You have something wrong with your mind." I say, "It's okay. Keep it up in this way, and you lose your son or you lose your daughter." And when they go to a therapist, they do not tell you that just because not to let you make fun of them. I'm not going to make fun of you, or I'm not going to make fun of your child. I'm just going to be happy that you follow the right path. Okay, you move now on the right path. You go to the therapist and he can give you the right instructions. Okay, so step number one, confess that you have a mistake. Make sure that you have a mistake, and then you try to find a solution for the mistake. But if you keep saying everything is okay and I love my way, or I love my life in this way, you lose many things. You lose many things. Okay, and maybe you will regret, and it will be too late to regret this one. Okay.
I think the problem depends on the kind of thing that you are afraid of. If it is a big thing or a poisonous thing or a small thing, it depends on what you are afraid, what you are afraid of.
Yes.
Yes. So it may be an insect, so you do not have the right to be afraid of it. It may be a big animal, so all people are afraid of it. Why not you?
Yes.
It may be a snake, a poisonous animal, a poisonous insect, uh, and then I think so. I think it depends on what you are afraid of.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes.
I'd like to end the class of today by your valuable words that you said. Yes. Okay. So trust that everything has a solution. You just have to start. And if you start, I think that everything will move on the right way. But you have to start. Okay. Make sure that you are following the right instructions, and make sure that you are talking to the right person. And at this time, everything gonna be okay, and you will enjoy your life in this way. So this was the end of our conversation class of today, our first class of Englizi Cafe. And I hope that you like the content that we presented today. Thanks for all of you who were watching us
Thank
on
you.
Facebook, or having some kind of interaction with us here on the live of Zoom. Okay, till we meet again. This was Sir Ahmed.
When
Every Monday
when
at
Oh,
9. Every
every
Monday
Monday
at 9.
at night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
thank you. Thank you.